Hello everybody, hope you're well. Went to my occupational health lady yesterday, so I thought I'd do a follow-up video from there. It was kind of more of the same sort of stuff about, she gave me some information about going to sort of events to sort of socialise with people with similar issues and so on. But a lot of the thing is, a lot of that's with mental health issues, and though fibromyalgia obviously does affect mental health because it's pain all the time and chronic fatigue and the rest of it. The fibromyalgia is not a mental illness, so I'm not really interested in going to those sort of things. The one thing that she'd previously given me was Steps to Wellbeing, which is something run through the NHS, which is to do with sort of training the brain to sort of respond more naturally to stimuli, which certainly is something I'll go for, because it is to do with the brain, or the nervous system at least, not responding correctly to normal stuff. A prime example at the moment is my right hand. I was just sort of play fighting with Toby yesterday, and he went to grab his pillow, as he likes to steal all the time and take outside, and he went full pelt into my hand and accidentally bit me. It wasn't the biting, it was more the knocking. He didn't proper chew into my hand or anything. There was a mark, actually still is a mark the next day. But the fact is, the pain in that hand is, it's moving it now, it's not too bad. Where doing this yesterday for hours after it still sort of tense and hurt. Now if I press on any of the area on my thumb there, it feels like knives are sort of going into it. That sort of stuff is just not normal reaction. As I say, a lot of things. And another case example, which I messaged a few people about after mentioning my hand, was those pool plastic lids you get on things like milk cartons. I've got them for my soy milk because I've obviously gone dairy free these days. Pulling that just on one of the particular bottles one time was a bit harder than usual, and this finger, which is the one I used it for weeks after, felt strained. And that's it's a reality of this condition, and it really is just an over exaggeration to a lot of things. But what I think people don't realise, it's not just the reaction at the time. Yes, if you try and do something, you'll get pain. When normal people wouldn't get pain, they would just feel a bit of struggle or something like that. But it's not just that initial thing, it's the after effects of that, because the body is essentially reacting in such a way that it's badly being damaged by what you're doing in a normal activity. So those things will impact you for quite a long time. The whole stiffness in my right arm, I know a lot of people with fibromyalgia mention the whole neck stiffness and stuff like that, and that's that sort of fluctuates really daily on sort of how bad that is. But the right arm is quite a unique, or for me, I know we all work slightly differently, but it's weird that it's just in my right arm mainly. That is daily there. That's it does change in how bad that is. Sometimes just going to move my arm back to pick up something will be ridiculously tight in that area and painful, and other days it'll be fine. And those sort of things are you would expect from sort of a sport injury or doing something at the gym. But a year after me getting fibromyalgia, whatever way it started for me, it seems to be some sort of bug. Flu-like symptoms. That's nuts. It's a long time later. So I've sort of waffled on what I was going. This is everything I'm saying is actually genuinely important. But going back to the actual meeting. Apart from that, she went over doing some taking time out and breathing exercises. Breathing exercises, I've actually said. I've got that on my watch and I have used it a couple of times. It's it's no magical thing, but I do understand the importance of taking time out. The most important thing, and I've said it before, is pacing with fibromyalgia. And the whole spoon, bloody hell, my voice again. Spoon scenario where we have a limited amount of power basically in a day. People chronically ill, And she's talking about you can recharge, you can put some of those spoons back in by taking that time out, which is true. So none of the stuff she says is wrong generally. It's just I want some actual treatments. So I've phoned up the doctor when I got late. Phoned up the doctor's surgery later when I got back that day and yesterday, and got an appointment booked because I had to do that anyway. A follow up from me seeing this specialist that I went to see at Wareham Hospital, who sort of put me in the middle category of chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. And yeah, I'm going to that because I'd know that my doctor had mentioned beforehand when he said, "Oh, if this guy does say you have fibromyalgia and blah 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 and classifies you as it," as my doctor already said I have it, but he needs to have it said by somebody higher up, I guess, in the chain. He said things like hydrotherapy are things we can do. So those are the sort of things I want to get actioned. On the note of actioned, it was quite funny that this lady that I saw, health specialist, name's Jo, she said, "Listen to your language. You say, I have to do this, I have to do that a lot. Just take it as sort of, this would be a good idea." I was like, oh God, okay. A lot of it's wishy-washy stuff. Yeah, as I say, all that self-care is super important, and I get that. But also, I want treatments to aid the body recovering in the muscles, and something that's going to actually physically make an impact on my condition, not sort of mentally, because this isn't, as I say, it's not a mental disorder. It's a problem with the nervous system, and yes, the brain is, you can tie it in that way, but it's there is fundamentally something going wrong because of the weekend I wanted to go around with friends and couldn't. It was because I was too weak to stand, and I couldn't get out that day. And the next day I managed to do the morning walk, and I sort of built back up again. But yeah, there's obviously physical things. The hand thing isn't, for instance, a case in example, really, isn't it? If it was really just due to stress or anything like that, I wouldn't be going. I mean, why would this cause this? Why would I have this pain hours or a next day from a result of such thing? It just, a lot of the things out there are miscommunicated, and it's getting a bit blurry, the lines between people talking about mental conditions and self-care and actual physical disabilities. And I want to be clear with that. It's quite clear that you get mixed reviews. Certain things help doing this and that, and positivity and all the rest of it. This is a physical disability. There is no way of summing up anything way differently. I don't believe that you can literally cure yourself by thinking positively about everything. I am being as proactive as physically possible. Whatever I'm trying to do, I've made changes to my diet in huge ways. I've gone dairy free, which I've never done. I'm 33 now. I'm 34 tomorrow. You can wish me happy birthday tomorrow. I'm being as proactive as I can be. At no point am I just sitting here giving up. So if it was just to do with mind and all about that, then I would have been cured a very long time ago. And also, what's always been a big frustration for me is the fact that I was doing so well with my health and had a personal trainer and gym stuff before this. And then I know at a time, and it's worth mentioning again, a few people were like, "Oh, maybe you were just overdoing it with the gym and stuff." It wouldn't take this long to recover, for starters. But also, it was the on and off sickness stuff that I was getting, the illnesses, were actually tracking it back through seeing posts on like Facebook this time last year and so on. It actually gone back over a year before I even joined the gym, so it has nothing to do with that. I mean, it certainly probably didn't help the situation, but how would I? I'm a normal. How's anyone going to know? What's going to come down the line as a result of trying to get healthier. But yes, it's trying to do as much as possible. Basically, if you want answers for fibromyalgia, I'm no expert but my by my own experience, the best thing is to do exercise, but don't take the piss with it. For me, I'm going out twice a day with Toby. I also go out a third time to do a little shop here and there. And then now I'm looking to build in that extra walk again. I was doing it, but then stopped because I went too far with it, and that's my problem, my fault. But I'm going to start doing that as a graded add-in of exercise, be consistent for about 2 weeks doing a 5 or 10 minute walk, and then look at increasing it. Don't go gun-ho like I did, because you just fuck yourself over. But yeah, exercise is important. I know it sounds crazy for people in pain, but exercise will help. Even on the days where I'm feeling worse, I will go out and do that walk with Toby, and then I'm actually a little bit better for doing it. So it does certainly help walking. Walking is, it's all about low impact exercises. You shouldn't go out and try doing weights. You're going to fucking screw yourself over. Weights are a good idea with a small amount, and I will be looking to do that shortly with little dumbbells or something. But apart from that, I know I have an issue with lifting thing. That's a big problem with that. It completely zaps my energy very quickly. So even cameras like I'm recording on now, it's set up on the tripod. It's not that heavy. It certainly wasn't before I got fibromyalgia. But even that now, if I hold it for an extended period of time, which could be sort of 10 minutes, so on, it really zaps my arm strength. My arms feel ridiculously weak from doing it. And it just pulls on all the muscles. So graded exercises, low impact exercises, walking, swimming is something I will be doing. Probably not while it's getting to the point where I would freeze to death. I could go to swimming pools, but I don't want to go out and do that. And plus I don't have the money, so I do support that at the moment. But when it's hotter, I'll go down the beach. I'm very close to it anyway. But yeah, walking, swimming, stuff like that. CBD helps, but I'm not going to tell you it's a magic cure. You see way too many posts on Instagram saying take CBD and you'll be fucking cured, and all the rest of it. It helps, but it does not cure fibromyalgia, and it will not completely right your symptoms for the day as well. Painkillers, again, they help, but they don't fix it. The most beneficial medication I've ever been put on, I've said it before, is amitriptyline. That made a huge difference. Before then, I could feel my back felt constantly out, and I was wearing heat packs at work back when I was working every day. I went for a ridiculous amount of heat packs, those deep heat ones, and then I got the third party cheaper ones just to save a bit of money because I was wearing them every day. And then instantly, and I do mean instantly, after taking amitriptyline, I didn't feel the need to wear those anymore. So it's clearly working and doing what it should do, and what the doctor aimed to do, which is reducing the pain signals from the spinal cord back up to the brain. It reduces the amount and increases the happy thing that I'm trying to think of the word of. But yeah, it just helps with that. It does help. Not everyone it does help with, and some people will get sick off them, I believe. But that's something that you've got to talk to your doctor about and look into as a viable option, because it will help. And then for me, the biggest milestone was also trying the dairy thing, cutting dairy out, because that stopped a large percent of the nausea. There was a lot of times I was feeling sick, and I don't get that hardly ever now. So that's really good. My battery is flashing, so also this video is going quite long. But yeah, it's all about positive thinking, low impact sports, exercises, trying to do what you can, but don't take the piss with it. And just keep making notes of where you're having a bad day, what you've done that could have made it exacerbated that situation, and so on. And I'll speak to you again soon. Hopefully this video has been helpful to you. Hope you're having a good day. Speak to you later.